Hi everyone. I'm doing a video response to a series that just got started on a channel called FilmSpeak. The guy's name is Aaron, and he's doing a director's series on James Cameron. James Cameron was one of my most favorite directors of all time a number of years ago, but not really the case anymore. But some of his first stuff is, were films that I enjoyed quite a lot. Which is why I like him so much, of course. He recently, I think 3 days ago, put up a video on Terminator, on the Terminator, which was his big breakthrough movie. He had already done a video on Piranha 2: The Spawning. And I've seen that movie once, long time ago, don't really remember too much about it, and really didn't feel like going back to see it again. But I wanted to talk about the Terminator and possibly a few others for this series. Terminator is one of my favorite films by Cameron, and I like it better than Terminator 2, although Terminator 2 is more technically proficient and generally is just, a more professional production overall. I mean, it was like a $90 million production, whereas the first Terminator cost less than $10 million. But what I really like about the first Terminator is how dramatically neat the storyline is, the way there's this logic loop time travel story. That I find really was really mind-blowing. First time I saw the movie, I was pretty young, so I basically saw it edited for television. It was broadcast, and even with the goriest and most profane bits cut out of the movie, it was still a pretty intense experience. Aaron mentioned one scene as being particularly effective, and that is in the Tech Noir, when Sarah is sitting in the club waiting for the cops to come, but the Terminator comes instead and searches through the club floor and finally spots her. And there's a shift into slow motion. There's another really effective thing that happens, and that is the sound gradually, very, very gradually transitions from the song that's playing in the club that everyone's dancing to the score. And amusingly enough, the lyrics to the song is, "You've got me burning with your burning heat," which is funny because the whole human race in the future, most of them have been wiped out by a nuclear fire, the bombs that went off and obliterated most of mankind. So that's very effective, actually. And the music itself, the score is done by Brad Fiedel, who also scored Terminator 2 and then went on to score True Lies for Cameron. Really, really great score. The theme, obviously, that dun 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 dun, and then there's the regular theme, and there's a number of good pieces of music. But the music during that scene is very effective. It goes down, 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 down as he gets closer and closer and pulls out the .45, and the laser sight comes on, and he points the pistol at her. It's a really, really effective scene. I don't think a great deal of the acting. I think the acting is better by the supporting actors than by the mains. Obviously, this is an extremely iconic character for Schwarzenegger, probably the most iconic character that he's played. I don't think anything else comes close to that as far as the roles that he's played. He's very effective. He's very menacing in the part. I really enjoyed the cops played by Paul Winfield and Lance Henriksen. Lance Henriksen, of course, went on to appear in Aliens for Cameron. Bill Paxton, of course, makes an appearance early on in the movie. He, of course, played Hudson in Aliens. And Michael Biehn, played Reese and went on to do The Abyss and Aliens, of course. He played Hicks in Aliens, and he played Lieutenant Coffey, a Navy SEAL, in The Abyss. But yeah, a lot of the bit parts. Rick Rossovich plays the boyfriend of Linda Hamilton's roommate. He's pretty funny, and her roommate as well. I can't remember the name of the actress who did it, but she's funny as well. She's a bit ditzy. There's this really funny. I actually read the novelization of this movie after I'd seen it, and there's the scene that isn't in the film in which Sarah comes home and notices that the gate to her apartment complex has been wedged open. There's a rock sitting there. And she's just like, oh no, someone didn't even bother to take their keys. What idiot did that? And then her roommate comes along and she's just out jogging. She goes into the gate and kicks the rock out of the way like she's the one that placed it there. And Sarah's like, eh. But yeah, that's the book, of course. So yeah, fun movie. And again, I like, just the story in general. Actually, the producers behind the Terminator and Helmdale were engaged in a civil suit with a science fiction writer. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Harlan Ellison, but don't quote me on that. I didn't check. But any new editions of the movie that are on DVD now, and any new prints that are shown, have altered credits. The credits actually had to be altered in order to, because there was a court that found that the Terminator borrowed too much of its storyline from this one short story or whatever that some guy wrote, and so now this guy's name appears on all editions of the Terminator that are newly released. So if you've got an edition of the Terminator that has the older credits, that's probably more valuable now. Or at least, I don't know whether or not the old DVDs can be more valuable than new ones because they degrade. But anyway, I wanted to just chime in a little bit on this series. I'll probably do more videos on the other Cameron series. I wasn't planning on doing one of my own because, as I said, I don't like him as much now as I did back then. But since this guy is doing a Cameron series, I thought, you know what, I'm going to chime in on this. So thanks for watching. The link to his video is below. If you could check him out, that would be great. And I'll see you again real soon. Of course, I'm doing a Paul Thomas Anderson series at the moment. That's going to be underway in just a couple days, so I hope you'll check that out too. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.